Okay, so we've been spending time evaluating uploads, and we're into part 3 of the C3 Lite, blah, blah, blah. Yes, spend your $38, not an $8 part, eBay $38. I personally enjoy experimenting. Yes. You learn stuff doing stuff like this. So now we're gonna see if we can find a spot where this little trace is corroded. Just taking a blade, and I hope you can see the corrosion that I'm scraping off. I can feel something catching right there. But, here, hold on. Get this. Oh, here, hold on. There we go. That's a little better. I can almost, and this don't look like corrosion. Here, down, up on the back, down on the front. Wait a minute, let's try this. Might be better. There we go. Because my voltometer tells me there is a break in this. And as I'm scraping, okay, I see a nice crack. A nice, well, I can feel it too. But that's nowhere near all our corrosion and stuff we're talking about earlier. Never mind, that's a personal note there. I'm almost tempted to get the voltometer out again, because that's shining up easy. Like there's plenty of material there. Alright, so. Oh, okay, wait a minute. Alright, it's awful close to that light, but it's not at that light. So even though that's where I thought the break was, it might not be there. But every light, every one of these holes grounds on this thing through this trace. And so now we're going to scrape down here for a minute. Let's see what we find. And this is the bottom. This is the bottom, which gravity would have, whatever biologically corrosive material. Oh, there it is. Look at that. I know y'all can see that. That just popped right there. There's our problem. Boom, boom. Corrosion. That used to be copper. that used to be copper. And now it is something, it's a compound containing copper, but it is useless. It's garbage. Yeah. Yeah. There's our problem right there. Okay. So, GM put that in there and it was copper. And then life happened. Okay, and all you kids, ha ha ha, life happens. You just wait until you marry somebody and expect to trust them. I just won't say another word. Life happens. And that's what's happened right here. Okay, so this part can be replaced for $38. Plus however long it takes to wait. We ain't got that time and money. Well, I got plenty of money. I got money, but I want to leave on a trip and not have to worry about whether or not the part will be waiting for me when I get back. Alright, so what I'm doing now is this is where most of the material stops. The copper. And you can hear that. You can hear me catching that almost. Right there. Alright, and then yep. Alright. Come on. At some point, that's got to stop being corrosion and turn back into copper. But we've got an idea of, we definitely have confirmed a problem. And yes, $38 and waiting 3 weeks will clear it up. But I ain't there for this. I ain't here for that. Okay. Anyway, gonna work on some other stuff. Alright, so we got us some honest to God dollar store Scotch-Brite. Okay? If you don't know about the Scotch-Brite product line, you need to look into it. Before you get into sandpaper, you got to evaluate this stuff, okay? This is household. This is sold at Publix. This is sold at Walmart. If you want to get more aggressive with the same name brand, you're going to AutoZone. I had this laying around. Alright, hold on. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get it wet first. And here again, no spraying, no pouring. We just want to use some alcohol to clean a little bit. All right, you can see on the trace, okay, on the outside edge where it's broke and stops and starts again. This is where that corrosion was giving us issues. Okay, now I'm gonna be so we're gonna clean this pretty good. All right, we got it wet. We're gonna wet it up again. Hold on. Wet, 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 wet. Now we're gonna get aggressive. Although we gotta have some control, so we're gonna fold this in half. And no fingers behind it. We're gonna use and because the plastics still exist. Okay, we just got to get it to the point where we can get some of that paint on there, but we got to be able to control it because we don't want to short. All right, if you don't know nothing about electricity, and I'm not trying, I'm just trying to use the tools that God gave me. All right, and we're just trying to clean this off. In vinegar, I quite literally thought about vinegar to do this. Vinegar has an acid content to it, and would probably be good, but I didn't have any at hand. Okay, but now there we go. And here again, we probably, I've been thinking about cutting this off. This little sliver right here. The only problem is, another meese is probably going to come in and try and pee on it. All right. So as soon as I went to stop recording, can you see that? I went in like this and that just fell off. Okay, so I'm confirming that was our primary issue. Remember, in part 1 or 2, I pointed to this spot and said, I think that's where the break is. And so now, we're going to have to... Ooh, yeah. And actually, it's getting to the point where I'm thinking this is copper foil. So, I was talking earlier about it being a silk screen or a photographic process. I think it is a lamination of 3 things. And God Almighty, I can't... The technology to have a cut... Well, first of all, this is copper tin foil. Okay? It's copper tin foil. Or copper foil. Okay, I'm visualizing it now. It's a die cut process. All right. And I only have 2 of those there. Where's the third one? There it is. Okay. Anyway, I just to correct myself. I think it's copper foil. It's not a photographic process. But we got to eliminate the chunks, and we got to close the gaps, and that's where we're headed. And I guess y'all were so far away. Peel this up, and you can, come on. I'm getting ready to cut this off, but I ain't quite figured out how to cover it back up. But you see this trace, this vertical trace right here, how it stops? Well, the reason it stops is because corrosion build up there. And that trace, and I'm trying to do this with one hand. That trace actually comes down and around and connects to this part. Okay, and so we got to come up with a way to replace that. But then also, like I said this earlier, in the fact that that chunk come out like that, and if I keep pulling it, this is copper foil. It almost makes me confident we could fix this with solder if we had to. But for right now, we're going to try the paint method. Okay, do as I say and not as I do. I am not recommending you do this. Okay? You can see what it is. For fear of pissing off the